help us as we go into this meeting, that we might be able to help somebody understand something. Some of your bless us, Father. Bless those people that are going to be watching live, and also those that will watch the video. Help us, Father. Speak to them too. In the name of Yeshua HaMashiach. Hallelujah. All right, we're going to go and start in Ecclesiastes chapter 6.
Yeah.
And that is on page
681.
681. If you have a Word of Yahweh Bible. If you do not have a Word of Yahweh Bible, we will supply you one.
All right.
Brother Paul's going to be reading.
Chapter 6 of Ecclesiastes. There is an evil that I have seen under the sun, and it is common among men, among mankind. A man to whom Elohim has given riches and wealth and honor, so that he lacks for nothing for his soul out of all that he desires, yet Elohim doesn't give him power to eat from it, but a stranger eats it. This is vanity. This is pointless. It's an evil disease. If a man begets 100 children and lives many years, so that the days of his years are many, and his soul is not filled with good, and also he has no burial, I say that an untimely birth is better than he is. For he comes in with vanity, and he departs in darkness, and his name shall be covered with darkness. And moreover, he's not seen the sun, nor known anything. One such as this has more rest than the other. Yes, even though he lives 1,000 years twice over, yet has he seen no good. Do not all go to one place? All the labor of man is for his mouth, and yet the appetite is not satisfied. For what does the wise man have more than the fool? What has the poor who knows to walk before the living? Better is the sight of the eyes than the wandering of the desire. This is also vanity and vexation of spirit. That which has been is named already, and it is known that it is man. Neither might he contend with the one that is mightier than he is. Seeing there are many things that increase vanity, what is man the better? For who knows what is good for man in this life, all the days of his vain life which he spends like a shadow? Or who can tell a man what is going to be after him under the sun?
If I have a statement about this, a comment?
I thought verse 9 was real interesting. That better is the sight of the eye than the wandering of the desire. This is vanity and vexation of spirit. It's basically what you put your eyes on and lust for. Or at least that's what I get from it.
It's kind of like bird in the hand's worth two that are in the bush, kind of a thing. If you wish for it and you don't have it, it's better that you can see it with your eyes and see it satisfied.
Michelle, could you turn this just a little bit farther so you see Steve? You can see
I'm
Steve.
fine. I'm fine.
I'll do it, Michelle.
All right.
Sure, has a little bit of a difficult time moving things.
Yeah, just a tad, right there. That's good. Let me see. Yes, that's good. That's got everybody. Got everybody.
It don't have the prettiest one.
Well, that's right.
Now she needs to be over here.
All right. missing the curls. Most people know how pretty they are. So what do you think about that, Steve?
What do you mean?
What,
Verse 9.
Yeah, I told you what I thought.
Could you repeat it?
Well, the whole point,
Could you repeat it?
oh, but, where it said, sight is better than the wandering of the eyes, I thought it was, basically what you look and lust after, what your eyes fall upon and lust for.
But doesn't it go on and say this is all vanity?
It is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah, well,
You
the
think it
lusting
is?
eye would be vanity and vexation of spirit.
That it was like both seeing and wandering with both vanity.
But what I'm talking about is basically saying, just when you use your eyes, you know, that's one thing, but when your eyes are falling upon things, desire them, lust for them, things like that, it causes a vexation of your spirit.
Anybody else got a comment? What's that, huh?
Yeah, you can do what Steve said, like when your eyes fall upon something, then you lust and that. Because you feed it, feed the lust, well, that
That
is.
which has
what
existed is
vexation
named
of the
already.
spirit is.
It's known that it is man. Neither
Vexation of the
may someone contend with someone that is mightier than he.
Where's that at? Now you're,
That was number 10.
Barbara asked you to explain number 10 to her.
all right.
See, I can read things, but I can't comprehend it. So I have to get somebody else to read it to
So
me.
we'd like to keep it for everybody. Speak up and ask.
Well, verse 10 of chapter 6. Better of that which has been, that which has existed is already named. And it is known that it is man. Neither may someone contend with someone else that is mightier than he is.
So that means y'all win.
Well, how
You don't pick on somebody twice your size.
Right.
Yeah, I don't care if you are far too well.
Not if you got any wisdom, but.
All right, verse 3. This one's always kind of bothered me in light of the fact that everybody's getting so poor. A lot of people can't afford a standard burial. But that's that verse there about, he's saying that if you have no burial, he says it's an untimely birth, like stillborn is better than he. So I'm wondering why the burial is such an issue for him if you don't even know that.
Right. This
what
is
verse
verse
you
I
on?
don't get.
3. 3.
Yeah,
Verse 3 is a man
that's
beget
verse I
100
don't get.
children and live many years, so that the days of his years be many, and his soul is not filled with good, and also that he have no burial. I say that an untimely birth is better than he. Why would they not have a burial?
Well, who does the burying if not the family?
Right.
Okay, if he's not got any good in him all the days of his life, and he's begotten that many children, and none of his children really cares for him enough to bury him properly and to cause his name to be remembered by the process of not only the burying, but setting up a memorial of some sort, then, you know, it's better that he had never been born.
Okay, I agree with that.
Basically saying that his life is worthless.
Pointless, yeah.
No, I was just wondering on the edge of the burial as opposed to like cremations and stuff like
Right,
that.
well, this was written about in a day when cremation was not even a thing. And to bury a father of a family was a thing that you took great care to do because of the memory and the honor of his name. But if the man has no honor, then his name is not going to be well remembered by his children. And so there's not going to be this very great procession of a burial and an honoring of a name, that kind of a thing. It's going to be like, yeah, I don't want to do this. You do. No, I don't want to do this. You do. it's gonna be passing the buck all over the place, and he winds up kind of, not getting buried properly.
Kind of throw it in the
All right,
ditch.
what about this? Second Samuel. Second Samuel, no, First King. Where I can find it right off. 52nd Kings.
Are you looking for something in regards?
Yeah,
to-
Jeroboam.
Oh,
When he sent his wife, remember, to the prophetess, to find out if his son was gonna live.
Probably First Kings. Yes.
well, chapter 14 of First Kings speaks about Jeroboam,
Well,
or it speaks about Abijah, the son of Jeroboam, who had fallen sick. And
Jeroboam is on.
that's where Yahweh speaks to Jeroboam through somebody. It says, I'm going to bring evil upon the house of Jeroboam. I'll cut off Jeroboam from Jeroboam every male, him that is shut up and left in Israel, and will take away the remnant of the house of Jeroboam, like a man takes away dung until it's all gone.
Well, what I was thinking about was what it said about that baby that died.
Okay, that was verse 13 of chapter 14.
Okay,
Actually starting in 12. It says, arise for this reason and get yourself to your own house. And when your feet enter into the city, the child is going to die. And all Israel is going to mourn for him and bury him. For he only out of the house of Jeroboam is going to come to the grave, because in him there has been found some good thing towards Yahweh, the Elohim of Israel, in the house of Jeroboam.
so he had a burial, but his father and all of his
Right.
Ken
Did not.
did not have a burial. I wonder what happened to him, but I thought of that when we were talking about that scripture there in,
Well, he says in verse 14, more than this, Yahweh is going to raise himself up a king over Israel, who is going to cut off the house of Jeroboam that day. But what? Even now, for Yahweh shall smite Israel like a reed has been shaken in the water. He'll root up Israel from out of this good land, which he gave to their fathers. He's going to scatter them beyond the river, because they've made their groves, provoking Yah to anger. And he'll give Israel up because of the sins of Jeroboam, who did sin and who made Israel to sin.
I was just wondering what happened to him and the rest of his family
Look
that
at
did
verse
not,
11. Look at
that
verse
did
11.
not come to burial.
Read verse 11.
Verse 11 of 14.
Yeah.
Him that dieth of Jeroboam in the city shall the dogs eat, and him that dieth in the field shall the fowls of the air eat. For Yahweh has spoken. Yeah,
Evidently, it's going to be on a battlefield where that takes place.
yeah, it probably just killed and left laying there, you
Rotted
know?
away.
Bruce.
But they did bury the child.
Okay, back to Ecclesiastics.
Chapter 7. Somebody's looking to see if there's been any questions or anything like that on
I haven't got anything yet.
So the thought actually continues in chapter 7.
Yeah.
Because in chapter 7, verse 1, the thought continues by saying that a good name is better than precious ointment. And the day of death is better than the day of someone's birth. It is better to go to the house of mourning than it is to go to the house of feasting. For mourning, lamenting, that is the end for all men. And the living one will lay it to his heart. And sorrow